What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, I want to talk a little bit about Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. He did an exclusive interview yesterday with FightHype.com. I think that's his go-to channel for when he wants to do exclusive interviews. So shout out to those guys, by the way. He had a lot to say in that interview yesterday. I think he put his detractors and his rivals on notice, and I think he also kind of extended an olive branch out to some of the boxers, some of the fighters out there who may not be signed with Al Haymon and Mayweather Promotions. And he talked about, having the green print. He had the green print for the fighters out there to follow. He kind of likened himself to Harriet Tubman. He said that he built the Underground Railroad for fighters. And I think what he was talking about was how he left Top Rank. He hooked up with Al Haymon, and they did a business deal, and they had a plan. He said the plan was to make sure that the talent, which is the fighters, get paid the most money, not the promoters or the managers. And you guys know, up until that time, a lot of promoters were getting the bulk of the cash. Sometimes the fighters would retire broke, even die broke, but they wanted to change the game, and I think that's what they absolutely did. Now, he talked a bit about Bud and Spence, but I think he was trying to make a point bringing those two up, kind of taking a dig, I would say, at Top Rank and Bob Arum. He talked about how he calls Bud and Spence all the time. He tells them how proud of them he is, and he said that he's proud of his people and that he's always going to put his people first. And then he gave examples of how Bud and Shakur Stevenson was being treated over at Top Rank. He said that Bud had a lawsuit out against Top Rank. You guys know that. The lawsuit was stemming from breach of contract and accusations of racism. And then he brought up the stuff with Shakur Stevenson, where in his last fight, you guys know, it was a unification matchup with Oscar Valdez, that, even though Shakur Stevenson was a silver medalist, they made him the B-side, and that they weren't even selling his merchandise at the fight. So he was kind of comparing and contrasting, how things are on that side of the street compared to what he offers for the fighters, what the game plan was for the fighters over with Al Haymon and Floyd Money Mayweather Promotions. Now, he also talked about how him and Al Haymon, how tight they were. He said Al Haymon's like a second father to him. He said that you can't be in this business like he is for 26 years and not be a shot caller. So he's basically saying he knows what's going on in the sport of boxing, regardless of what a lot of his detractors have to say. You guys see that on the video sometime. People say Floyd doesn't know what he's talking about. Floyd doesn't know how to read. Floyd's just, he's in the way, or, he won't take a back seat. I think Floyd is still extremely relevant in the boxing game. Now, he talked about Tank. I think this was a lot of people wanted to hear. They wanted to know if Gervonta Tank Davis was still signed with Mayweather Promotions, and the answer is yes. He's still with Mayweather Promotions. Now, he mentioned about Tank, he mentioned that Tank doesn't need or have all the belts, but Tank is not fighting on free TV. He made that point, and he's absolutely correct. He says Tank's doing big numbers, and everybody, mentions Tank. Everybody wants to fight Tank, and that's the truth. I believe it because when he got Tank, he said that he was going to make Tank a household name and a pay-per-view star, and that's exactly what he did. So I think Gervonta made the right move by staying with Mayweather Promotions. And so, like I said, he extended an olive branch to these fighters out here. He said that if you want to do record-breaking numbers, you need to get with Floyd Money Mayweather and Al Haymon. So that's the olive branch that he extended to these fighters. He said that when Floyd Mayweather says something, that's what it is. You know, he said he doesn't have any reason to get out here and lie, and he doesn't. You know, Floyd Mayweather is boxing, in my opinion. And he also, you know, took a little jab at some of his enemies out there. He's saying a lot of times, you know, some of my enemies can be up in my club. They don't even know I own it. And he's always going to have the last laugh. And that's the absolute truth. Floyd Money Mayweather, like I said, he is boxing. And I think he does a lot behind the scenes that a lot of times we're not privy to. A guy like him, who is very successful in the sport, is always going to have haters and detractors. When you do something great, you're always going to have haters and detractors. But guys, that's all he had to say in the interview. You guys tell me what you think about what he had to say. Let me know how you feel about Gervonta Tank Davis still being signed to Floyd Mayweather Promotions. And do you think, you know, some of these other fighters on these other platforms should take heed to what Floyd Mayweather had to say? You guys let me know in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.